This is something that most people struggle with the first time whenever they start a fly time. So I usually use cock hackles. I find them very effective. I'll probably use an oversized hackle here just so for the purpose of demonstration. Okay, so here you have a black hackle. Now, a lot of people do take off the fluff and all. You don't need it because you never tie down that fluff anyway. The first thing you need to do whenever you're tying on your hackle is hold the tackle at the tip and just draw out those fibres just by pulling down your hand there, okay? And this is how I do it. There's other ways to do it. See this tip? I break it off, okay? And then what I do is I pull a few fibres out, okay? So now I have a few fibres creating a V, okay? Now it's very important to wax your thread for this. Okay, and I should have said I have the shiny side pointing towards me as well. So with that V, see at the base of the V, I tie in under a hook, which means I now have the feather pointing this way, but I also have the fibres that at the top are pointing this way. I draw these fibres back and tie on them again. So that means that the stalk has now been secured at the V, but because I bent down the fibres again, that stalk's even more secure. So it's been tied down twice. And there's no cutting off or anything because it pinched off the tip. Using your scissors, just making sure that it's obviously blunt. Hold the stalk tight and you'll be able to hear it. Just push those fibres along, scraping that stalk. Or push those fibres inwards. And you could do this for longer. I do it once or twice, but the longer you do it, it'll be easier to double. Okay. And again, you do that on the underneath as well. And then finally, anything that's maybe not going forward, you'll be able to draw back anyway with your hands. If you wanted, you could whack your fingers and do it that way. And I do that for the likes of golden pheasant. Okay, and what you're having now is you're having all your fibres on one side of your stalk, which means that as you turn, your fibres will all turn towards the rear. And even if they don't, we can work that out. Okay, so now in touch and turns, you don't want to be tying on top of the stalk. So you want the stalk to go round, and then for something like this, I would actually sweep again. You don't need to because it's well doubled, but you could sweep again, which makes sure that it's even more well spaced out. Okay, and whatever way you're putting the stalk on will ensure what way the feathers go. So I could actually turn the stalk a little bit, and the feathers will be pointing more towards the front, or else I could lay the stalk down and they'll be further back. Okay, and then this is the last thing that I do. I picked up this wee trick a few years ago. Tying down the stalk at the end can be a wee bit fiddly. So what I do is I hold some of the fibres down and I remove what I think will be the fibres of the excess. Okay, so you can see there's enough fibres there for one more turn, but it means that I'll have a clean stalk to tie down in my next turn. Okay, so one more turn, and sometimes I push the fibres back as I'm turning as well. Okay, so as you can see, that's my stalk there now, all nice and clean, no fibres, and then I can just secure that in. Okay, and if you have depending if you have the space, sometimes I actually sweep it back. Whenever you're sweeping, don't sweep on one side, because then all your fibres will be at the top and bottom. Make sure you sweep all round, and then that means that you can secure that stalk in. It'll be an extremely secure hold. Hopefully you found that useful, folks. As always, check out my other videos. They'll be coming on the screen now. Until next time, thanks very much. All the best.